Mike, what's your take?
I think your point is respectable, and it makes a lot of sense. I think a lot of people would agree with you. I want to see the best teams duking it out. I want to see Kansas and Kentucky. I want to see John Wall and Sharon Collins and DeMarcus Cousins and Cole Aldrich going at it. I want to see K-State with Jacob Pullen against Syracuse, Wesley Johnson. I want to see these matchups. You are correct. Last year in the national championship game, we had two big-time programs, two of the best teams in the country, and North Carolina blew them out, and it wasn't that great of a game. Same with Villanova and North Carolina in that Final Four. Wasn't really much of a game, even though we had Scotty Reynolds, who's one of the best players in the country. But in the end, I really do like, and I think the country likes to see the best teams playing at their best and playing in that Final Four. It's great to have a Cinderella like George Mason, Butler, I guess a quasi-Cinderella with Michigan State this year. But in the end, I want to see those best teams duking it out because those are the best players in the country.
Jordan.
I like a little bit of a Cinderella. Maybe if one of them squeaks in there, that's a good story. As you mentioned, Mike, with George Mason, now Butler. But I do like seeing at least maybe the majority. I like the Cinderella factor because it keeps you on your toes. It makes you have to stay alert, knowing a lot of these teams running off of adrenaline and emotions, and the fact that they're just recently believing more and more in themselves as the tournament progresses. But I do like, matchups, especially in the Elite Eight, when you get a 1 versus a 2 coming out of that region, West Virginia, Kentucky. It was an anticlimactic game. Neither team, we've talked about before, they didn't play that. Neither team played that well. But I like when you get that matchup. That was one matchup when you're looking at that region. You want to see those two teams playing to go to the Final Four. Especially, I'm disappointed I didn't get to see Kansas, Georgetown, or Kansas, Ohio State. We saw Michigan State and Tennessee, but I like Michigan State, and I think, so I guess to definitely answer your question, I'd say I'll take 3 out of 4 big guys and sneak a Cinderella in there, and I'm happy. As long as I'll agree with you, they're good games.
And a lot of the best games have involved these lower-seeded teams, which is why. But if two great teams get together, Duke, West Virginia get together and have a great game, I'm all for it. But how about Michigan State Butler, Jordan? Who are you taking in this one?
I'm going with the Spartans. Tom Izzo's group. A lot of these guys have been there before. They were just there last year, and they went to the national championship game. I wouldn't be shocked to see them go to the national championship game again. Butler, not your typical Cinderella, not your George Mason Cinderella. This team is very, very talented. Turned heads all year, got in the tournament as a 5 seed. They were very good in the Horizon Conference, but I think Michigan State wins this game when it comes down to it. I just think they've got the bigger guns. They're going to control the game down low, and Corey Lucius has done a great job filling in for Kalen Lucas.
And Mike, Tom Izzo, 6 Final Fours in the last 12 years. Pretty amazing.
Yep, he's putting himself in the ranks with Dean Smith, Coach Krzyzewski, and so on. He's going to be a Hall of Fame coach. He's done a phenomenal job at Michigan State and really made them, I don't know if dynasty is the right word, but their consistency is commendable. I think Michigan State wins this game. Jordan, at the Big Ten tournament, we heard Tom Izzo after the loss to Minnesota say Draymond Green and Raymar Morgan were going to be the leaders of this team in the NCAA tournament. And the common fan who looked at that said, wow, what about Kalen Lucas, player of the year in the Big Ten in 2008, 2009. But Kalen Lucas goes out. Who are the guys that step up at the end of big games, make big passes, make big shots? It's Draymond Green and Raymar Morgan. And I think in the end, their length and that experience puts Butler in some difficult situations, and Michigan State wins the game close. And these arguments I'm using, a lot of them are the same arguments that were made for Syracuse and the same arguments that were made for Kansas State. But when you look at the matchups, you look at them on paper, and you look at the experience that Tom Izzo has winning in the tournament, it's just very difficult for me to pick Butler. So I'm going Michigan State close.
Yeah, and I'm going to go Michigan State too. And I almost wanted to pick Butler. And if it was versus maybe a less experienced coach, I'd maybe take Butler because of what Butler's done this tournament is impressive. And I think Brad Stevens may be the coach of the tournament. I think you can make the case for him. But I got to go with Tom Izzo because they've just had a knack for winning the close games. Every round, it's come down to, it seems like, the final minute. A lot of times the final possession. New Mexico State, Maryland, Tennessee, UNI. They've grinded them out, and they've won the games, and they've played great defense too. And so has Butler. That's why I think this is a very intriguing game. And ultimately, I think it's going to be a very good basketball game. But I think Michigan State, tight one at the end, wins.
Their 4 wins are by combined 13 points. So Tom Izzo in the clutch with leadership and from his end and from the players on the court getting it done in the end.
And this one is the heavyweight battle that you two would like to see. Duke taking on West Virginia, two of the greats in college coaching, Bob Huggins, and then Coach K, just one of the legends of the game. Mike, who do you got in this one?
I think the ACC gets a win here. Duke comes out on top. You know, the three S's, Smith, Singler, Shire, the leadership that those guys show, their ability to shoot from the perimeter. Now, Singler had a very, very poor game against Baylor, but they were still able to win, pulling away towards the end. Zubak has had a tremendous tournament, and then you've got the Plumlee brothers and Lance Thomas coming off the bench. Duke's deep on both the perimeter and under the hoop. I think they get it done. West Virginia, I don't know if they're going to be able to employ that 1-3-1 zone against Duke and be successful like they were against Kentucky, because Duke is a much more disciplined team than Kentucky. Kentucky may have had more talent and more NBA talent, but Duke is very disciplined, and Coach K's team will be ready, and I think Duke will be cutting down the nets at the end of the weekend.
Jordan.
I think Coach K's team wins as well, Mike. I think Duke takes down West Virginia. West Virginia will put up a good fight. They're a good team. But these Duke guys, you know, you alluded to the amount of leadership they have on that team. One thing I'd been talking about all tournament was that this senior class hadn't had a lot of success in the tournament, but now they have. You know, now they are in the Final Four, and now they have themselves believing that they really were this good all along. And I think that, you know, Coach K has his best squad that he's had in a handful of years. Yeah, I would not be shocked to see them cutting down the nets by the end of the weekend either. But I think Duke beats West Virginia, and if you're West Virginia, if you lose that game, you hang your hat and say, great season. We made it to the Final Four. We were that Big East team that came out of that monster conference and made their way to the Final Four.
You know, they'll be hanging those hats on Monday because they're going to go to the national title game and they're going to win it. But that's why I have them winning this game this weekend. And I think it's Bob Huggins' time to finally win a national championship. And I think the arguments for Duke are great, and I can't disagree with any of them. So I'm not going to go too long talk about this game because I think these are two great coaches. These are two great teams. I think these are the two best teams in the Final Four. So you could almost, I'm sure you guys would like to make the case that this is almost the national championship game because these two teams are so good. But I like the way West Virginia is playing this tournament. I like the way they're playing defense. Guys on this team just step up and make plays when they need it. And I know the same you could say for Duke too, right. But you just look at the way Butler's been playing all season, especially in the Big East tournament, and then you look at a guy like Joe Mazzulla, who hadn't had a start the entire year, comes in and starts last game, and he scores 17 points. And he had a great tournament 2 years ago. I think he's going to have another great tournament here in the Final Four. If
Devin Ebanks can handle Plumlee and Zubak down low, West Virginia has a great chance to win, but again, I think Duke wears down Ebanks with that depth, and that's the difference because the guards and the forwards match up very evenly on both teams.
If you'd like to comment on what we've talked about tonight, uiowaist@gmail.com. That's our email address. So for Mike Rabin, Jordan Labrena, I'm Alex Salzman. Good night and go Hawks.
So.
Yep, that works.
That'd be awesome to be Phil Knight.